Check. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Make sure my mic is on. Check 1 2. Check. Check 1 2. Yes, it's on. It is a pleasure to be before you today. I come with another introduction, discussion pertaining to my book, Hidden Tears. I'm going to start calling it Welcome to the Hidden Tears family. We all have tears. They may not be shown with water running down our eyes, but we do have tears. They can be shown in our behavior. A mother or a father, or someone may say, "You're crying out for help. You need to stop doing drugs. You need to stop doing whatever." So our behavior can be used as a form of hidden tears. It's my prayer that those who listen to part one or who have not listened to the first segment will listen to it and get something from it, and also from part two. I was thinking that we're living in such a time in the world as this, where we need to hear positive messages. Yes, everyone is doing their own thing and living their own life, but when we turn on the TV and the news, it's always negative. Us against them, race, black, white, sex. What about the encouraging those? You can't hardly get it from the local churches in the community. Why? Because they are afraid to offend their members if they speak the truth. But there are some of us out there do experience a tear or two. Whether the tears come down our eyes or in our emotions. This book, titled The Hidden Tears of a Black Male. You say, "Anthony, this book is only for black males." No, it's not. This book is also can touch other races of family. It's not exclusively for men. It's also for men and anyone who wants to come to what I think about doing is coming up with, I call it the Hidden Tears Conference that I'm thinking about doing, where everyone of all nationality can come and hear the truth about themselves. Women from years have been going to women conferences, 2012, whatever. Group of speakers, women talking to women, and that's fine. Some men come in attendance to support their wife. Long time ago, there was a men's only thing, but it kind of faded out. So I was thinking and talking to a friend that maybe it's a time for a new phase, a new era of messages, of encouragement, of things that people need to hear. Men, they have tears. Men who hurting emotionally and physically. Men who have baggage in the closet. Men who have problems. And to be truthful, most men will not admit that they have a problem. Some have resorted to suicide. Some have resorted to anger and took it out on someone else and found themselves incarcerated. We don't hardly we hear the bad side about men. They're beating up their wives, they're beating up their girlfriend, they're selling drugs, they're into the gang life. All that is true. But what about the emotional side of a man? What is causing him to do that? Why is he doing what he's doing? Is he from a single family home? We can say, let's do a study, put a group of people together, and they come with some findings, some conclusion, and say, this is what needs to be done. And then they ride off into the neighborhood and leave the person there hanging. We should have an ongoing, week to week, day to day, month to month, or some kind of message that will give black men, young and old, and even other races of men, and even women, to be encouraged to, when you look at yourself, In the mirror, what do you see? Do you see your true self? Do you think about how you look? Do you think about what are you projecting out there? Are you projecting a hurtful feeling, a hurtful situation, and you smile in front of people, but you're hurting inside? So you take to alcohol, the life of crime. The streets has become young people babysitter. Mothers and fathers, single and mothers and single fathers, allow the streets to teach their children. And then when the child come home, they don't want to listen to what mom or dad is saying because there's no quality time is spent. Am I knocking or condemning? No. When we begin to speak the truth, people are quick to say, "Oh, you judging you. Who are you to say this? Who am I?" I can say I come from a dysfunctional family. I come from a history of different people in the family, and I'm quite sure you have. But I wish I have learned through my father and through my mother and through my late grandmother and my late mother and father. We all have a purpose in life. We will love to have someone to come to us and say, "Can I talk to you? I see that you're crying. I see that you're losing weight. I see that your behavior has changed. You off to yourself. You're not you're not socializing anymore. You're off the internet. You're in your own self-imposed prison. What is wrong with you, son? What is wrong with you, wife? What is wrong with you?" Those are hidden tears that need to be wiped away with the truth. And yes, the truth will hurt when we hear it. You can only help those who want to be helped. You can lead a person to water, but you cannot make them drink. We, as individuals, all races, need to begin to look at ourselves and say, "You know what? I do have a problem," especially men. A lot of men out there won't admit that they have problems. And I was reminded when I was married back in the day, and I got a divorce, and it took me hard. I was losing weight. I felt out of it. I was on the police department. I didn't take my anger out on the public, but I was just going to work. I was just existing. It seemed like I had no purpose in life. So my sergeant called me and said, "I want to meet you." We met at a local Wendy's. And he said, "What is your problem? I noticed your demeanor has changed." So I began to tell him what I went through, you know, with my divorce and how I was feeling by I'm not with my wife anymore. And that burden was lifted from me because I had a black male older than me, a stranger other than a coworker, saw something was wrong with me. He saw my hidden tears. No one else, they probably saw it but didn't want to get involved. But he was at that moment, he was a father figure to me, telling me, asking me questions. What is wrong? You don't need to let this control you. Think about what I'm saying. And it was a blessing that he took time to come to me because he was concerned about my mindset. There are other men out there that are father figures. There are other support groups. There are men that are helping other people in the community. And that's fine. Everyone has their unique calling. I'm having my unique calling by Hidden Tears. When I tell people about the book, The Hidden Tears of Black Male, has never been read other than my editor who edited it for me reading it, but it has never been physically unless someone bought it off the Amazon and did not tell me. But as far as I know personally, because I had never sold it, because I just moved back here from Colorado. So the book has never been read by anyone. So I'm sharing this with you to say this is a powerful book. It has a lot of, like this lady told me today, I speak in metaphor. I'm coming from my experience, things that I've heard, things that I experienced. We have this term about Monday morning quarterbacking. People say, "Oh, the quarterback should have this, quarterback should have that, that player." You can tell me all day long what you read in the book, but until you experience what I have experienced, you and I can't really have a conversation unless you want to understand how I felt, understand what I'm going through, what I'm feeling. But we all have some form of hidden tears. Some do not care, are not concerned. They're going to smile it away, pretend nothing is happening. They don't want people to know their business. And I have been around people that have killed themselves. I have personally know someone that killed himself because they could not stand they were married and they killed themselves and their young child because they did not want their child, to be raised by another father. That man experienced a hidden tears. We worked together, but I used to hear him saying that I feel bad about my son being raised by another man. And that's the extent of it. Had he have done and shown other behavior, I most likely would have said something. But then someone called me and told me they talked to him the night before and he wasn't right. Go to his house and see what's going on. I arrived to his house and discovered that he had killed himself and his young child. That was a lot of hidden tears built up. So, brothers and sisters of any race, if you feel right this flat now, if you feel right now that you are pressed in your mind and you can't think anymore, reach out to someone. Reach out to someone that you trust. Seek out professional help. Seek out counseling. Seek out a best friend. Seek out somebody that will help you get over what you're feeling. With every operation, going to be a cutting, going to be stitches, and going to be surgery. But we all must accept the truth. So with my short exhortation, it's my prayer and hope that what you just heard will be encouraging to you to look in the mirror and don't feel bad that you have issues. Don't feel bad that you have a problem. Don't pretend that everything is okay, because everything is not okay. We can look at people from the outside and say, oh, they're okay. But are they hurting inside? And little people give telltale signs. You hear it all the time. So-and-so killed themselves. And it's, oh, yeah, I thought he was going to do that because the way they was acting, they wasn't the person that I used to know anymore. So those are hidden tears. Women experience hidden tears. Children experience hidden tears. Everyone of every race and sex and gender are experiencing hidden tears. They're doing and acting out because they are hurting and they're crying for help, and they don't know how to cry for help. So it's my prayer that you will listen to this, share with other people, allow them to hear what you heard, to say, wow, who am I? I'm a man. I don't have to admit that I'm weak. What is weak? Because you confess, you admit that you have an issue, you admit that you have a problem. And most men will think about, oh, I'm not going to share what I'm going through because they're going to think I'm weak because I'm a man. I'm not going to tell another man what I'm going through because they're going to think I'm weak. No, it's recognizing that you have a problem. Women don't have problem calling other women. Some men will call their grandpa or father if they're that close, but the majority of men will admit that they have no issues. So they reach out for things, buy shoes, buy clothes, buy whatever to make themselves feel good. And it doesn't satisfy them. And they find something else, and they find something else, find something else. No, begin to wipe the tears, the physical tears off your face. Wipe away your behavior. So when someone sees you, they can say, that person changed. That person changed. He's slowly changing. I remember him when he was a street. He was this, he was that, but he got his life turned around because we all need to be turned around. So I picked 3 chapters that I'm going to read. I may touch on them, but I'll read in the book. I mentioned this in my last meeting. It's called Why I Can't Tell. Why I can't tell anyone. You threw me up against the wall. I did everything to break my fall. I cried on my knees. You kept kicking me until I couldn't breathe. I look up at you with tears in my eyes. You struck me saying I should accept your lies. I lay awake many nights. I can't sleep in my fright. Don't throw me out in the cold. Nothing will be told. I will call the police, but they will be in disbelief. And That I have waited so long to seek release. Oh, baby, please pick me up off my knees. I need to take a risk to be rid of your fists, but I'm afraid to tell the tale because I'm a man being abused by a female. Yes, men do get and have been, and probably in the sound of my voice, are being beaten up by a woman. Beaten up by a woman, as I described. We hear it all the time, women being beaten up. It makes the news. We think it's the woman, the man is a problem. Well, what if the man is defending himself because he have an abusive woman verbally with the mouth and verbally, I'll cut you, I'll throw a frying pan at you or whatever. Women do get physical. If we living in a world of truth, women do beat up men. Some men will not tell you. They may go around about it, so I know a friend. So men do are experiencing being physically and verbally abused by a woman. And that's wrong from both parts. And that's why the man cannot tell. The next one, I'm crying. There are so many nights filled with fights, and I submit to it, hoping it will stop the whip. You're destroying our love. Why are you doing this? You are not aiming to miss. You won't take our child. You say it will be for a while. You want to take our child. You say it will be for a while. When the police are called, you say we didn't need them at all. When they left, you knocked me up against the wall and blame me for all my fall. I have allowed you to destroy my pride. Do you want me to commit suicide? Why won't you build me up instead of tearing me down? What can I do to please you? I don't have a clue. I'm tired of crying. I'm tired of crying. There are men and women at the sound of my voice are crying physically, emotionally, because they are experiencing a physical abuse. They are. I'm telling you right now, reach out for help before it's too late. Put down what I was going to say, 60. This one, I'm sorry I abandoned you. When I was young, out there in the streets doing my own thing, I did not take care of my responsibilities. I'm sorry for abandoning you and my responsibilities. I follow my emotion and refuse to live with my decision. I refuse to recognize that you are my wife and the mother of my child. I'm sorry for the emotional pain that I caused you and my child. Please allow me to be involved in your life and my child's life. I regret your emotional choice. I regret my emotional choice in your time of need. I know that I will experience the consequences for my behavior. I abandoned you, and that was wrong. I know that I can't make it up. The time is lost. I'm sorry for the pain I have caused you both. I'm sorry for not being there for you two. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. I was not there to protect you, to comfort you, to give my child good advice, or to wrap my arm around them. How many of us have abandoned someone? Let's go a little deeper. Have you abandoned yourself? Have you abandoned your self esteem? Have you abandoned what you really need to help you get rid of your hidden tears? Are you crying right now? People can't see you crying. Those who are watching you with a watchful eye will say, that person is crying because I see it in their eyes. I don't see any tears, but I know they have an issue. It's my prayer that what you heard from this book, the chapters that I've shared with you, there'll be more. I'm doing a book signing at the Geechee Roots. The Geechee Roots store in the Pula outlet, Tango outlet on the 17th. I'm selling all books, all the copies that I have. They may run out. I'll take a list and you still get the same price. I order more. But I want you to know I'm selling them for $10, nothing else. I'm counting the cost, counting the loss, because I want this message out there. If you like what you heard, share with your friends. Say, hey, I know this guy. I heard something on TV. I heard something on YouTube that caused me to realize that I abandoned my responsibilities and I have gone out and I need to go back to my wife. I need to go back to the mother of my children. I know I can't go back to every one, but I must go back to the one that will allow me to be in their life. I can be involved. If you're married, you can be involved in your children's life that you left behind. You're crying out for help and you need help. Quit doing things to cause you to experience the bad consequences. Subscribe to my channel, make a comment, hit the subscribe button, the bell, and when I come on, you will know that I'm on. I realize that practically all my videos that I've done on all my YouTube channel are mostly filmed live. I'm doing them live. It's not that many videos that I have uploaded where I record them and edit them and do whatever, and then make them look good. But they all are live, coming from a spontaneous thought. I want you to begin to think. Look at yourself. Look at yourself, men of many races and females. Are you crying and you need to wipe away that behavior tear? Seek out the truth from someone. Thank you. Share what you learned. Share what you heard. It's my hope and prayer that something I say to someone out there who's at the brink of thinking about committing suicide, who at the level of about to go over the wall or be arrested or do something to get them in trouble. It's my prayer that you sit down at family time, sit down with your young children and say, listen to this, listen to that. I want you to hear. You cannot explain what you heard in the way I explain it, but just share it. Don't think for the other person. Let them think for themselves. Let them choose. So when they look in the mirror, what do they see? Do they see? They're not going to see. They may not see physical tears, but their behavior and what they do and what they say should be a great indication that they're crying out for help. God bless. I'll be back. Again, I think I did post on a Saturday. I think it was. But I let you know. God bless. I think it's Saturday, if I'm correct. God bless. Enjoy. Lord willing, I'll be back.